Today, we're diving into a crime scene that's completely unlike any other, the cloud. It's the engine running our modern world, for sure, but it's also a massive, sprawling new frontier for crime. And that really brings us to the central question, doesn't it? I mean, think about it for a second. The cloud isn't a physical place, it's a service, an idea, running on virtual machines scattered all across the planet. So how on earth do you solve a crime when you can't even put yellow tape around the crime scene? To even start to answer that, we first have to understand this new, borderless landscape. It's so different that it's actually forced us to create a whole new field of criminal investigation. And that field is called cloud forensics. Now, the goal is pretty much the same as any other investigation. You gotta find the evidence. But, as we're about to see, the very thing that makes the cloud so powerful also means that all the old forensic tools and procedures, they just don't work here. The rulebook gets tossed right out the window. This analogy really nails the problem. Your data isn't just sitting neatly on one server in a basement somewhere. No way. It's virtualized, it's copied, it's constantly being shifted around the globe to make sure your apps run smoothly. For an investigator, this is an absolute procedural nightmare. So what is it that makes this so incredibly difficult? Well, researchers have basically broken it down into 3 core challenges, and when they all slam together, they create an almost impossible situation for law enforcement. We're talking about a technical nightmare, an organizational one, and a legal one. Seriously, each of these is a huge roadblock on its own. But when you put them all together, it can feel completely insurmountable. Okay, first, the technical side. Investigators can't just walk up and seize a server. They have no physical access to the hardware. And cloud providers? Well, they intentionally hide where the data is. It's part of their business model. On top of that, every provider has different log formats, and the timestamps across different servers aren't synced up. Trying to piece together a timeline is like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle where the pieces come from 10 different boxes. It's chaos. Then there's the organizational mess. A single crime could involve multiple cloud companies who might be using other third-party services themselves. So who's actually responsible? Who holds the key to the data you need? Just trying to untangle that web of ownership can stop an investigation dead in its tracks. And all of that feeds directly into the legal dimension, which honestly might be the most complex puzzle of all. Let's say a user in France commits a crime using a service that stores its data on a server in Ireland. Which country's laws apply? And here's the kicker. The service-level agreements, the contracts between users and providers, they almost never clarify this stuff, creating a massive legal black hole. So, facing this total chaos, how can investigators possibly move forward? Well, the answer isn't just some fancy new tool. It's a complete revolutionary shift in how we think about investigations. This whole idea is called digital forensic readiness, or DFR. And get this, it's not new. This concept was first defined way back in 2001, but in the age of the cloud, it's more critical than ever. It's all about preparing for an investigation before a crime even happens. And this slide right here, this gets to the heart of everything. It is a fundamental shift from being reactive to being proactive. Traditional forensics is all about waiting for something bad to happen, then scrambling to find evidence that might already be deleted or messed with. Forensic readiness is about building systems that are always collecting and preserving potential evidence right from the start. Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how in the world do you apply that proactive philosophy to the chaotic virtual world of the cloud? Well, you do it by designing something called a Cloud Forensic Readiness System, or CFRS. And this isn't just a single piece of software, it's an entire architecture. It's a way of building your cloud environment so that it's ready for an investigation from day one. A CFRS basically has 2 main parts working together. First, there's a forensic database. Think of it as a security camera that's always on, constantly collecting potential evidence, logs, snapshots, user activity, you name it. Then, a readiness core module takes all that raw data, encrypts it so it can't be tampered with, stores it securely, and gets it ready for analysis. The whole system is designed to make sure evidence is captured correctly and will actually hold up in court. So here's how it plays out in practice. The system is always on, collecting data. The moment it gets that data, it makes a secure, encrypted copy to preserve the original evidence. At the same time, it's also monitoring for anything weird, like suspicious behavior. Then, if an incident does happen, investigators don't have to start from scratch. They can use all that carefully preserved data to build a reliable, trustworthy timeline of events. It completely transforms the chaotic hunt for evidence into a systematic, orderly process.
So, what does this all mean? What's the big picture here for the future of justice in a world that is just built on the cloud?
And look, this isn't some far-off academic idea. A survey of actual digital forensics experts, the people in the trenches doing this work every day, found a pretty striking consensus. Almost 90% of them believe that a proactive system for collecting data in the cloud is important. The experts see this as absolutely essential.
Ultimately, being forensically ready is about way more than just catching criminals. A system like this makes a company's own internal security stronger. It drastically cuts down on the huge costs and disruptions of a traditional investigation. It creates a clean chain of custody that helps slice through all those legal and jurisdictional knots. It's a path toward making the cloud not just a powerful tool, but an accountable one too. And this really leaves us with a final big thought. Our traditional methods of investigation were built for a physical world, a world with borders, with evidence you could hold in your hand, with clear jurisdictions. That world is quickly fading. So in the borderless virtual crime scene of the cloud, maybe being prepared isn't just a good idea, it might just be the only way we can ensure justice is served at all.